All right, peace, family. Thank you for joining me today. To those who, if this is your Shabbat, I like to say shalom to each one of you. And if you are just coming in just to, listen to the lesson, hey, thank you for joining me. My name is Maury Yaakov. This is ITFTR Network, which stands for Indigenous Talk for the Righteous Network. We also have an Indigenous Talk for the Righteous Entertainment channel as well. So please go check that out. We have a new project that's getting ready to hit by the end of this year. So be looking out for some things. We're gonna have some things dropping before this year is out. Creators will. But we thank you for joining us. We're talking about the war between male and female. And I know a lot of times we have, what we've been taught, the things that we feel. But until we literally go in and do the research of what's been said in this book, what we call the Bible, we're going to always be hitting and missing on opinion. Now, some people say, well, the Bible is an opinion book. Well, any book you read is an opinion book because somebody wrote it. So it doesn't matter what you think or feel. Everything is going to be calibrated right back to what you believe and how you were taught. Okay? And until you can find information that could disprove the Bible, what you're saying is invalid or void because you're just talking opinion. You're not really talking truth. So on this journey that I've been on, dealing with the war between male and female, we're on part 15. This has been a real journey. I mean, a real journey. And like I say, I've been learning. And I've been growing. And some of the things that I've learned cut across the actual boundaries in how people teach this. But now I'm starting to realize what it's actually saying. And thank you for those who've been listening and giving me the feedback in how you enjoying these lessons. That really gives me, an incentive that the truth is reaching to those who needs to hear it. Like I say, it's not about the masses. It's not about the masses over here. No, it's not about that. It's about actually allowing the truth to be heard. And that's what it's about. So before I even go any further, we don't normally do the normal thing. We're going to blow the shofar for gathering. So let's go ahead on and get that. All praise to the Creator. Because we thank the Creator for allowing us to be here today. Thank you for Him protecting us throughout the week. Thanking Him for allowing us to even wake up this morning. So as that we can, in this day, change a lot of our mindsets into how we think against Him. The things we do against Him, what we do against our own selves, how we think against our own selves. We have an opportunity today to repent and change away from that. Thank the Creator for us becoming aware of the things that we are doing that's against Him and giving us the opportunity to make right. Thank the Creator for a roof, clothes, shelter, things that help sustaining this life that's in the body. It may not be the best of what it could be, but thank the Creator for what it is. And we're looking for more better to be able to become sovereign within ourselves once again. We're going to come from under this captivity, this oppression, this prison, this POW status. And we're going to become a nation once again. But this time when we become a nation, we thank the Creator for the rebels being purged out and the rebellion ones. So we thank the Creator for everything. And we ask the Creator to forgive us. To the things that we have done wrong and what our ancestors have done wrong to put us in this position. Let us be that flower that blooms up so that we can teach our children the truth of self, of life, and of you. Selah. So we appreciate you being here today, because today you can press that like button. You can press that like button. You can press that subscribe button as you come in, that like button and subscribe button, and that share button as you come in, to let everybody know that we're here to help YouTube circulate the videos, the lessons, so as that those who needs to hear can hear. And we appreciate, like I say once again before we get started, those who have reached out to me, letting me know about how much they're enjoying this series and how much they have learned. All praise to the Creator, because it's the Creator that put this on my heart for me to be able to go in to teach. So all praises. Let me pull up a Bible real quick, because he's giving me all kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people don't agree with, there's some people I know that don't agree with what's being said. That's expected. That's expected. Because it's not something that it's not something that the majority is talking about. So it clearly cuts against what others believe. It clearly cuts against that. And it's okay. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep on moving. Don't stop. You remember that song? I'm not going to stop simply because there are those who don't agree. That pushes me even further and more harder. Because it says in the New Testament, narrow is the road that leads to life, and only a few will find it. So everybody's not going to find life. They may find parts and particles of life, but they're not going to find the full life. That's why you have to walk this thing with cautious availability. Notice I said availability. What I mean by that, availability means I'm open. And when something goes against what I know or what I was thinking, then that availability makes me go back and research, not stand and stand on what I think. Like a lot of people was telling me when I was taught that he shall bruise thy head and thou shalt bruise thy heel. And they say, oh, that's the beginning of when Jesus Christ came. But it wasn't. Not if you go back and look, because that word bruise means desire. It shall desire the head, and thou shalt desire thy heel. So not bruise means to fight, it's desire. But we have all kind of narratives that we put inside of our minds, but we don't go back and do the research on what is being really said. And then when somebody go against what a person believe, I mean, not what a person believe, what you believe. See, that's where it draws up conflict. And I had a lot of people turn away from me because of me studying. And when I agree with you, I'm going to tell you I agree. But when I disagree with you, I'm going to tell you I don't see it like that, or I don't agree with that. And here's why. So it's all cool if we believe that what you believe is true, is correct. Hey, it's cool with me. I'm not here to change no man's mind or a woman. What I'm studying is this is what I'm teaching. That's it. I'm not here to teach what I haven't come across yet. I'm not here to teach that. A lot of people wants me to hold on, just give me a minute because this thing act like it don't want to hold now. A lot of people wants me to, they want me to tell a narrative, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell what I pull up, and this is what I pull up. This is what I'm going to teach. So without no further ado, we're going to kind of move forward. Let me kind of adjust my mic a little bit. All right. Let me adjust my mic. Here we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about right here. It's better. So I'm not here to offend or go against anyone. I'm just here to teach truth. So it's not about what I believe. It's not about what you believe. It's about what the scripture says. All right. So let's get into it. We get into part 15. We starting at Genesis, the 4th chapter, verse 13. This is where we're going to start off at. And it says, Genesis 4:13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Now, let's run over some points real quick. Okay. When Adam and Eve got kicked from out of the garden, the Bible says that's when Adam knew his wife, and she conceived and bare a son named Cain. Now I'm I'm going to go over today about Cain. Even though I already started about Cain, because we realized and learned that Cain was arrogant. He was very arrogant at the things that he literally believed. Cain didn't care about the garden, the place where they were living. Cain didn't care nothing about the fall. Cain did not care nothing about making amends. Cain didn't care nothing about his brother's life. And even after he killed his brother, he was arrogant at that. So now we realize that Cain threw his brother's body inside of a well-like river, of a channel. And he sat there and said, now where's my brother? Where's my brother? So Cain was arrogant. I'm talking about arrogant. And when you're dealing with somebody that's arrogant, you have to really be careful with these type people. Because if you're not careful at these type people will lead you to destruction. I'm talking about real destruction. I'm not talking about no simple destruction that you could come out of. No, because Cain led Abel and kill him. He killed him. He meant to kill Abel. And now Cain is now dealing with, the Bible says the Lord, but the word Lord is talking about Adam at this point. And I'm going to prove that. So let me go over 4 things about Cain. Number 1, Cain, he was cursed from the earth. This is his punishment. He was cursed from the earth. Now, does that mean he's not on the earth? No. I'm going to show you what that means in a second. Number 2, the earth will not yield to him ever again. Does it mean that Cain can't grow any vegetables? No, that's not what that's talking about. Let me show you what that's talking about as well. See, these are allegorical points. These are not literal factual points. Where's that, okay, he's just going to go around starving. If you believe that, that's dumb. When it says that in the earth will not yield to him again, he's going to have it even worse than his father and mother and the nation that he was in. He's going to have it worse than them. I mean, twice time worse than them, 3 times worse than them. Number 3, he's a fugitive. He's going to be a fugitive, meaning to move in a feeble, meaning a weak and unsteady way, meaning he's not going to be stable. He's not going to be stable. And number 4, he's going to also be deplore. Deplore means feeling regret and grief. What is he going to be grieving about? He's not going to be able to get beyond his brother, of what he did to his brother. He's going to carry that attitude with him throughout his life. And it's going to be, in this attitude, this type of arrogant attitude is going to be passed to his children. I'm sure, I don't know if I'm going to get to that today, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay? So Cain's seed because of what he did to his brother, is cursed forever in the earth. So I want you to pay attention to that. Cain's seed is now cursed forever. There's no way of Cain reversing that curse. There's no way that Cain can reverse this curse. He can't. This curse that Cain is on, this curse that Cain is put under, this is a forever curse. He's not getting out. He's not getting from under this curse. He's not getting from under this curse. Not Cain. So it doesn't matter how many babies Cain have. It doesn't matter how many grandchildren, great-grandchildren, or nothing. It doesn't matter how many of he have through seed. They're cursed. All right, now let's pick up in verse 13. And it says, and Cain, let me set this right here real quick. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Now, if you pay attention to this, Cain was talking to Adam at this time. Okay? But he's thinking inside of his heart, his mind. That's what that word "and" means. It means to think in one's mind. So Cain is thinking within himself, the eldest son of Adam and Eve. And now notice what it says, and answered, or said, meaning he's now about to answer towards the Lord. Because now he's engaging into a conversation. Because before he began to engage again, he's thinking before he opened his mouth. Because Cain understood that what he did, he didn't care, but he knew that punishment is now about to come. He realized punishment is coming now. So now he's talking towards Adam. Or we could say the fallout, because that's where the fall, because that's where Adam still is. He's in a fallen state. So Cain said unto Adam, he's speaking, he's answering towards Adam. This is what he's doing. He's answering towards Adam, or the fall. Okay? This is what he's doing. He's answering towards the fall. Or Adam. And notice what he says, my punishment. But let's look at that word Lord real quick, just to prove that the word Lord is talking about Adam. Okay? Let's look at this. Let's go to, just to show it to you. And then we're going to get into the actual word. Let's go to the number into the Phoenician Hebrew. Let's go to 3068, the Phoenician Hebrew number 3068. Let's pull that up real fast. And when you have it, let me know. 3068. And let's prove the point that the word Lord is talking about Adam or the fall. Because if you pull it up 3068, it's talking about self-existence. Okay? Now that word is very powerful when it says self-existence. Or eternal one. Or it's talking about God. Or the existing one. Okay? Or the proper name of God. That's what the word Lord means. Now, if we go back up and look at where this word come from, and you could go down in Brown-Briggs dictionary definition, it says to happen, the fallout. Okay? All right? To fall, follow what happened. See, so when we are talking about, let's look at another one. I'm gonna show it to you. This is talking about a man. Let me pull up the right one. See, because we look at these words and say, oh no, see, this is talking about God. This is the creator was talking to Cain. No, he was not. He was not talking to man. He was not talking to Cain for what? What is he talking to Cain for? What is the purpose? What would be the purpose for him talking to Cain? I'm trying to pull this thing up on my phone. I normally be on my tablet. What would he be talking to Cain for? Y'all make the creator weak. When Cain got a father. I'm gonna come back to that later on because I know I have it. I just don't feel like scrolling up in my lesson, but I'm gonna come back to it. I don't want to waste no more time. But let's look at the etymology word for Lord. Let's go to the etymology. The etymology dictionary. You can pull that up yourself. And then later on in the lesson, I'm gonna show you about the word Lord. Just to keep things moving a little, just to keep things moving. Let's go to the etymology dictionary. And you see ethymoline. It's the line. Ethymoline. And look up the word Lord. Capitalize. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Do the word Lord. And that word noun. That's a noun. In the etymology dictionary, the word Lord means a master of a house, whole, superior, husband, see, ruler, or fadrual Lord, superior. Also, it can mean God, one who guards the loaves. See, that's what this means. Watch out for, guardian, keeper. See, the one who's over the land of the owner of a land, houses. That's where we get the word landlord from. But see, in this text, they just took the word land away from it and put Lord. It kept Lord there. See, of a form of address of a nobleman under the rank of a duke and to a bishop. You're talking about a person with rank. Even when Adam fell, did Adam have rank in his house? Yes. So let's keep going. I'm going to show you this in a second. I'm going to show you about the word Lord. It's talking about men. In fact, hold on. Let me go back. I know where I could get it from. So we cannot sit here and say, oh, the word Lord is talking about the creator. How? Why would a creator speak to Cain? Why? A lot of times go ahead, sis.
Go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say, if you just look at the word and you take it face value, you would think that that's why it's important to know the origin of the words that we're studying, so we'll know what the exact meaning of it is.
That is correct. That is correct. Go to Hebrew number 136. Pull that up and tell me what you get. That's Adani. Adani. Hebrew 0136. Tell me what you get. And it's Hebrew 0113. Adani. It says the word my Lord or Lord, of men, of God, Lord, title, spoken in place of Yahweh in Jewish display of reverence. So when the text is using the word Lord, it's talking about someone who has the same authority, who's speaking the authority in place of the creator. So now you're telling me that Adam could not speak in the place of Cain? I mean, of the creator? So that had to be the creator himself come to open up and come down and speak to Cain himself. You see how foolish that sounds? You become a Lord if the creator give you a vision that you needed to accomplish. I showed y'all in 2nd Esdras 6:54 where Adam was called a Lord.
Well, isn't it because he had jurisdiction over, like, the animals and the earth?
Right, he had jurisdiction, but he lost that jurisdiction. But he still has jurisdiction as a husband in the house.
Right.
Because he's still being held accountable for his family, and what goes on around him. You still can't get past Leviticus, the 5th chapter. When you have heard, learned, or when you have heard, learned, or was around those things, and you refuse to open your mouth, you're gonna be judged just as much as the person who did it. So we can't sit here and think that Adam didn't have the rights to say nothing to Cain. So Cain is now opening his mouth to his father, Adam. Who is Adam? The master of his own household. He's the master of his own household. That's who Adam is. When you're talking about the master of your own household, you's the superior. He's the husband. So that makes him God in his house. And I'm quite sure when Adam lost everything, Adam began to realize what he's supposed to have stood on. He got to fight now. He have to fight. Says, look here. He have to fight. He has to fight. So he's telling him, just call it back. He's telling the master of the house, my punishment. That word punishment is the word iniquity, meaning immorality and grossly unfair behavior. So he's talking about his immorality and grossly unfair behavior is greater. Who's that? He's saying his grossly and unfair behavior is greater. That word greater means insolent, meaning showing a rude and arrogant response. So his punishment, his iniquity is insolent, meaning it's rude and showing an arrogant response. So he won't be able to, he can't bear it. Meaning he's not able to lift it or carry it or take it. Think about that. That's why he's going to be carrying around that grief. Because he's not going to know how to properly get rid of it because he can't. Because that's part of the curse. It's like he's dragging Abel around him everywhere he go. The thought of him, the memory of him, the likes of him. That become a part of him. He won't be able to bear that thing. That thing gonna have mixed emotions in him even more. He ain't gonna be able to carry it. Sometimes he's gonna break down without no type of Just break down. No type of warning. It's going to cause him to be confused, angry. He's going to have mixed emotions. He ain't going to be able to carry. That's what he meant when he can't carry that. He can't take that. Because he's used to being arrogant and in charge of everything that he did. Now he don't have no control of this. See, this attitude is a direct response from Adam and Eve actions from the garden. Not taking accountability, because remember what happened when the creator came to when the creator came to Adam. He said, "Oh, it was the woman you gave me. But never mind that you chose her. You could have easily told the creator no. But you chose her, and now you want to blame her for your choice. You could have easily stopped her. But you want to blame her for your lack of will and participation in the law." The woman said that the serpent beguiled me. But you the one who saw, meaning you investigated, you looked into it, you searched it out. You realized where you going to fit, how this thing was going to benefit you. Never mind that, you got tricked. How? See, what Cain did was a direct response from what Adam and Eve did in the garden. They didn't not taking accountability. And many of the parents don't realize that the energy that you have, that's why I talked about the sex. Sex is a ritual. And if you have sex wrong, that you're passing the wrong energy into the female's body. Men. And that's how you end up producing demons or something that goes against the law. Because your desire when you produce that child was outside of the law. It was outside of the law. And many don't realize that as the way they have sex, they're passing that energy to that child. You're passing the energy of you onto that child. So if you got a hateful, negative attitude, nasty attitude, you're passing that thing onto the child. That's the reason why it's easy for a child to pick something up, because it was in you. It was in you. So he's telling you this is more than what I can bear. He's saying, then it's more than what I can bear. More than what I can bear. See, when you realize that your iniquity transform from you to your child, we'll be very careful in how we produce our children in the future. We'll be careful. We'll be very careful. Because a lot of times we don't realize that these things, how we do things, affects our children. Just give me 1 second. Let me plug something up. All right. Okay. So we have to be very careful at how we have to be very careful at how we allow our children to be produced, because that child reflects you. That child reflects you. We could sit here and say, oh, no. See, that child got his own personality. No, that child does not have his own personality. It has yours. It has you and the father's. It has the woman and the male personality. Now, either they're going to make you, make the personality of you greater in wickedness, or they're going to make it greater in righteousness. It's one or the other. Cain was produced wrong. I proved that in that lesson when I went over that. He was produced wrong. So verse 15, it says, 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Now, my question now is, who is Cain afraid of? Who is Cain afraid of? Who? Who is Cain afraid of? Because some of y'all say, oh, well, see, Cain, Adam and Eve is the only people on the earth. Not according to scripture. Who is Cain afraid of? Let me read that again, verse 14. And we're going to break it down. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Notice he says everyone. That means there's more than one person. There's more than one person Cain is afraid of. So let's break down chapter 4. Let's break down verse 14, verse 14. The word behold means what? As an expressing of surprise. So Cain is acting surprised, like in a bit of a shock. Now, why is Cain so shocked about being removed? Why is he shocked? Behold, as being surprised. Thou hast driven me out. That word thou hast driven means to drive out or to evict. So Cain is telling. Go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, it says expel, cast out, drive away.
Right. So he's being evicted, cast out. Now that's a powerful word too, cast out. What cast out means? What do cast out mean?
Like when they send you away that you can't return.
Yeah, what's the definition? Because see, a lot of people don't see, because this is further in the point of what's happening to Cain. And then this is going to talk about the lineage of Cain. It's going into the lineage of Cain. He's cast out. He's evicted. You know what evicted means? They're putting you out right then and there. To be driven out, or to driven out. That means they are pushing him out. When you're being pushed out, that means they no longer want you there. Go ahead. What you got?
The definition, meaning of cast out, to cast out something or someone means to get rid of them because you do not like or need them or do not want to take responsibility for them.
Now listen to that. He's saying they don't want to take responsibility no more for them. They want them gone.
They're a liability now.
They become a liability. Now pay attention to that real careful. They become a liability. Now, when something becomes a liability, that means it's harmful. It's harmful. When something becomes a liability, it becomes harmful. It's contaminated. So Adam did not want to take responsibility no more for his son. He wanted him gone. See, this is the reason why you don't see Cain in Adam's lineage. Go to chapter 5, sis, and read Genesis 5 and start at verse 1. Start at verse 1. This is the reason why you do not see Cain inside of Adam's lineage. It's because he's been cast out. He's been evicted. He's been driven out. He's been put away.
Okay, I have it. Um, so Genesis 5 talks about Adam's descendants. It says, "This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that the Creator created man, in the likeness of the Creator made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created."
Stop. So right there, he's telling you that man was called Adam, not a particular man. It was man was called Adam in Genesis 1:26, according to Genesis 5 and 1. Go ahead, sis. Read that again.
Verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that the Creator created man, in the likeness of the Creator made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam
Keep going.
in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begot a son in his own likeness and after his image, and called his name Seth.
Now, why would it start as Seth and not Cain, who was the first of Adam?
Because Cain was cast out. It was almost like he didn't even acknowledge him anymore. And then Abel was no longer here because Cain killed Abel.
That is correct. Adam drove Cain away. He cast him out. Cain became a cast out.
So he disowned him.
He disowned him. See, we don't pay attention to the words because we have a narrative that we are trying to prove. Adam disowned Cain. So anytime when a father disowned a child, it's as if that child never was born. See, today, what we do even when we drive somebody away, we are still own them. But even back in the days, I ask your grandparents if they're still living. When their parents drove them away, they couldn't come back. Even when the child felt like they was out of order, they will leave and not look back because they know what they have done will cause them to be looked upon, frowned upon, or be cast out of the community. But today, nah, we don't do that. You stay for whatever. Go ahead.
Right. When you were saying that, I was thinking how, like, if they were to do anything to tarnish that family's name, then they couldn't come back because it was like the family name meant something. Like having that type of statue, having that type of what you call reputation of being, holy and upholding and upstanding. And if you tarnish that, you had to just disassociate yourself away from your family, because if you continue to stay there, you will bring them down.
That's right.
But nowadays, I guess, things have changed, unfortunately.
Let's go to Proverbs, the 22nd chapter, verse 1. Proverbs 21, 22 and 1. Proverbs 20:21. What it says.
It says, "A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold."
So
So
what that's telling you.
your name meant more than money and fame.
You don't
So that
think
name
Adam,
was,
you don't think, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, so the name that meant everything. Like they say, your name is your bond, or your word is your bond. So
That's right. Let's go to another one. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, verse 1. Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, verse 1. Your name is greater than anything you can ever own. That's why the name of the family was important. But see, our names today don't mean nothing. It's about what we gain is way more important than the actual name that our family is. What you got?
a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
What that mean? Break that down. A good name is better than precious ointment. What is an ointment? What is an ointment? Isn't that
Uh,
something you smear? Go ahead.
oh yes. It says ointment. It says fat, oil, um, grease, especially liquid, as of the olive, often perfumed. It also says richness, anointing. So it's something that has like a fragrance, something that's, I guess, powerful.
It's powerful. Has a fragrance to it. Something that people is drawn to. But he said the name, your name, the name is greater than that.
And good name, it says reputation, fame, glory, um, monument, character.
So now when Adam was driving Cain out, you don't think he's trying to reinvent his reputation to the creator? Because you got to remember, he fell. So when you're trying to get yourself up, you don't want nothing to get you in the way, get in the way of you repairing yourself. Go ahead, what you got?
I was gonna say, like you were talking about ways of, making amends. So that was his way of making amends to the creator for what he did.
Right. Is your son greater than the law?
No,
Because you got to remember, who does the child belong to?
the creator.
Uh-huh. Give me the scripture. See, a lot of us, we're scared to let a child go. Oh, something gonna happen to them. Oh, I'm so scared. But the child belongs to the creator. And you're supposed to be the husbandmen to that child. And when that child grows up like weed, you're supposed to cut it off. That's like pruning the garden. That's Proverbs 127. and 3. And then we're going to get Exodus, the 9th chapter, verse 16. We just going over the name. When you're trying to repair your name, you got to get everything that does not act, look, or feel like the creator from around you. It doesn't matter who and what it is. It got to go. Like that Tupac song say, how bad do you want it? How bad do you feel? Well, I guess I'm doing the wrong words.
How do you want it?
Yeah, how do you want it? Yeah, how do you want it? How do you feel? See, how do you want to make amends? And how do you feel when you make amends? How? Answer that question. Growing up, fast thing, I'm for real. I ain't got the words in my mind. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just kind of throwing it out as it comes. I know the song, but it's just not in my mind right now. But that's what they do. Your name has to be greater in your household because that's what carries on your legacy. Your name. What you got?
It's Psalms 127 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it says, "Lo, children are an heritage of the Creator, and the fruit of the womb is his reward."
That's the man's reward, and everything belongs back to the Creator. So if you feel like everything belongs to you, then you're going to be held responsible for everything, especially if you don't do the right thing with it. Cain killed Abel. What did Adam supposed to do? Let him keep hanging up around him like nothing happened? What did Adam supposed to do? Stay in the fallen state even though he had fell and lost everything? He don't supposed to try to make amends for nothing? The name is everything. Let's go to Exodus 9 and 16. The name is everything. That's why he's driving Cain out. He's driving him out. He's casting him out. He's exiling him. You can't hang up on something no more. Go ahead.
Exodus 9 and 16. And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
So he's telling you, look, this is the reason why I raised up this particular person to you, to declare my power, and in my name shall be declared. His authority, his reputation, the Creator's reputation, the Creator's authority. Ain't got nothing to do with you, nor I. It's the Creator. This is what's going on. Let's go to Psalms 83. And then we're going to get back into the Genesis. Everything is about the name. Go to Psalms 83, verse 4.
They have said, "Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Why they cut? Why they say the name of Israel? Why they just didn't say that Israel will be remembered no more? Notice they say that the name of Israel. Is it talking about you being called Israel? They're exiling you from your name.
Meaning your reputation and your glory.
Your reputation, your glory, your authority, your
Honor.
culture, your honor. That's what ties into your name. That's why the $5 Indians on the reservation stole your ancestors' names. That's why Genesis 9:27, it says Shem is going to encamp. Shem is going to encamp in Shem's, Salakia. Japheth is going to enlarge himself in the tents of Shem. When you enlarge yourself, that means you become that person. Why do you think they saying that they're the Jews? But when you say you're not, when you say that you are the Jews, they are no. Why do you think? Why they go around saying they are indigenous? But when you say you indigenous, you got to prove it. Because it's about the name. Ain't about nothing else. The name connects you back to your foundation. It's the name, family. It's the name. So he's being driven out back in Genesis 4:14. Cain is being cast out. He's a castaway now. Behold, thou hast driven, to drive or to evict or cast away. Me. That word me is the sign of defiant. With a direct object. So Cain is saying, you, as an expression of surprise, meaning you are driving me, casting me, expelling me, me? Man, you ain't driving me and casting me. He was showing defiant. Like you ain't got enough power to pull him and move him. This dude's arrogant. He done kill his brother. He ain't made no amends. He meant to do everything he did. Where did this attitude come from? His mother and his father. This dude was defiant and arrogant across the board. And notice the next word he said is what? This day. This day is a division of time. It's a division of time. And a division of time meaning eons, eras, periods, epochs, and ages. So Cain, he's done. He's saying, look, man, you driving me out, you casting me away, meaning it don't matter what time it is, what generation it is, I can't come back. He don't have no way of coming back. He's totally, completely out. Because what he did, according to the nation of Adam, was, you can't even describe it in words. Reprehensible. I mean, reprehensible. Beyond it. And he's still acting as if nothing should happen to him. And he's acting surprised, like, you kicking me out forever. It don't matter what time, what we call it. I can never come back. You telling me I can't never come back? And notice the next word. The word is from. That word from means on the grounds of. Meaning for that reason. Adam gave him the reason of why he can never come back. And the word the face, meaning presence before and behind, this is directions. So if you look at it, this day is no matter what time or season it is, on the grounds of this face, of the face, meaning no matter what time, season, and no matter what direction he move in the earth. Meaning country, territory, district, region, or tribal territory. It don't matter where he go, no matter what time, season, and it doesn't matter what direction. He's cast out. If the nation of Adam moved west, he cannot come that way. He cannot be up around the nation at all, ever again. And then he says, and from thy face, meaning the presence, shall I be hid. See? See, my presence is to be hidden or concealed. What is Cain talking about? He ain't gonna never be able to see his family again. He can't come break bread no more with him. In other words, if they had telephones back then, he can't even call, not even write a letter. He is to never have any contact with no descendants. Then he says, and I shall be. That word I shall be means, and I'm going to be concealed and hidden from your presence, and I'm going to exist. I'm going to exist now as a what? Fugitive. We went over that word last week. That word fugitive means what? Totter. Totter. I'm going to exist to move in a feeble and an unsteady way. Why? Because I'm going to be out here by myself. I don't have no more protection. I don't know which way to go. I know how to plant because that's my gift, but I'm going to be feeble. What feeble means?
Feeble like when somebody's weak, when I'm looking up the actual definition.
Weak in what? It says lack of physical strength, especially as a result of what? An age or illness. But it says lack of strength of character. Lacking strength of character. What does that mean?
You can be immature in the way you act and how you think.
Ooh, see? Was Cain immature in the character of himself? Are we dealing with an immature person of character?
I would say so, and I say that because of how he acted. I mean, you would actually kill your brother over what? Was it that serious enough to do that? That you had to take somebody's life? Were you that insecure within yourself to do that?
Hmm. See? Mark strength. I mean, feeble also means markably lacking in strength, indicating weakness. Deficient in qualities or resources that indicates vigor, authority, force, or efficiency. See? Efficiency, not deficiency. Efficiency. What is deficient? What that word means? That means not having enough of a specified quality or ingredient. So Cain, if he's feeble, that means Cain is immature. He's not ready to be out there on his own. He's deficient in what? Qualities. He don't have enough of maturity. He don't have enough resources to be out there on his own. That indicates vigor. What is vigor? Physical strength and good health. Authority. Force. Or efficiency. The state of quality of being efficient. Cain could have been efficient, meaning not having enough. That's why he could have been feeble. He realizing that everything that he had was among his nation. Now he's about to be cast out. And more likely he's not ready to be out there on his own. That's why he said, I'm going to be a fugitive. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to be out there by myself. I don't have everything that I need to be out there on my own. Then he says, and a vagabond, deplore. I'm going to be deplore. That's Deplore. Meaning to feel regret and grief. I'm still gonna be dealing with what I did to my brother. I'm not over this thing yet, and now I'm gonna be out there all by myself. I don't have no protection. You just put me out here. This is what's taking place. And notice he says in the earth, meaning the land or country. I'm going to be out here in the land by myself. I can't have no contact with nobody in the nation. I'm just going to be out here by myself. See, he's trying to gather, if you read this real careful, he's trying to grab sympathy.
So why didn't he have this kind of self-reservation or self-examination before he did what he did?
But see, you got to remember too, a lot of people do things that they do on purpose. But then when they're caught, they know they're caught, but they're trying to find their way to galvanize sympathy from you.
So it's almost like, you know how some people say, well, a lot of times we do things just in the heat of the moment because maybe we got too angry and it was just an impulse, or was this something that was pretty much premeditated that led up to that? You know, like, was this something that was brewing all along for him to just take action at that given time?
It could be. Sister
There's a
Sephora has.
question.
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say it. I just saw it.
Yeah, Sister Sephora has a question. She said, could it mean that your name is more important because it identifies you compared to something that can wear off? Yeah, your name identifies you. Your name is you. Your name just ain't no name you put on a piece of paper. Your name represents the character of you, the authority of you. Your name represents the roots of you. ROOTS, the roots of you, the foundation of you. It represents the elevation of you, because you go back in your history and you might see great people in your lineage. Things that your people have done that was hidden. It's not just a name that you have taken on or a title that you have taken on. That represents the foundation and the elevation of you. That's why we're supposed to have what is called family reunions. Because it reminds us of the blood and the authority and the efficiency of us.
Right, because if you never get together with your family, how are you able to carry on the legacy? Because if you don't talk to the older people while they're here, how do you know? And they won't have the opportunity to pass things down, so that way it will continue. And it almost makes me think that a lot of times we don't do that because we get so self-involved in ourselves and other things that we forget about what's really important and who we really are, because we're too busy trying to be other things and other people that we're not.
That's right. And let's go to give a scripture for the question. Very good question, sister. Very good question. Let's go to Proverbs 23 and 10 and 11. No, Proverbs 28. Hey, no. Go to Proverbs 23, 10 and 11. Let's go to that first, and then we're going to go to Proverbs 28. What it says.
For their Redeemer is mighty, He shall plead their cause with thee.
28, 10 and 11.
Proverbs 23 and 11 or
23, 10 and 11.
oh 23, 10 and 11.
Yeah, 10 and 11.
Okay. Um, remove not the old landmark and enter not into the fields of the fatherless, for their Redeemer is mighty. He shall plead their cause with thee.
Now, why did he say, do not enter the fields of the fatherless? See, this goes with Cain. Why did he say, do not enter the fields of the fatherless? Because why did he say, do not enter the fields of the fatherless? This is very important. Because the women, when they have a baby, they supposed to train the child after the father if he's righteous. And that baby picks up that righteous way and continue on the legacy of the father. That's why the mother takes on the male's name, because everything becomes a house under one name. But if the father is not there, then what is the child going to govern himself by? Because remember, going back, the woman is the helpmeet. Go ahead, what you got?
Oh, I was going to say they're going to govern themselves after the mother.
And the mother is a helpmeet. So they're governing themselves by the helpmeet, not being the head. And that goes back to the curse of Israel, Deuteronomy 28, when it says, when Moses said, you shall be the tail, not the head, meaning you're going to be governing and you're going to follow the woman. Because there's not going to be that many men around. And that's why today you see more men effeminate. And you see more females masculine. Not saying that they don't have masculine energy, but they're dating each other. Because there's no men. They had encroached the field of the fatherless. That's what's taking place. Let's go to Proverbs 22, 28. That's why it's not a good thing to be a single mother. Because it's not your job to be the head of the house. That's not your position. Can women be the head? I'm quite sure they can. But that's not what you were created for. Why be something that you're not, that you would never purpose to be? That's like a man trying to be a woman. A woman don't have a prostate. She don't have that. But a man do. Just like a man don't have an ovary. Like a woman. A man wasn't never designed to carry a baby 9 months. He was only designed to carry seed, sperm, in his scrotum. We have to stay within a purpose. And that's what carries on the legacy of the name. But when you get out of that name, you're creating a whole new purpose. And that's what was going on with Cain. What you got, sis?
Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set.
See, not the mothers, the fathers set these boundaries. And that's what was going on with Cain. The father was removing the son. Because the son went too far. And if the father needed help removing him, that's when the mother steps in and say, you got to go. And Cain understood this. He's being exiled. He got to go. He's being written off. He said, I don't have no place to go. I'm gonna be feeble. And I'm gonna be weak. I'm not equipped right now to go out there. I remember a friend of mine told me, he said his son, and his daughter got, he got tired of him. He let him come back for a minute, and he gave him a deadline. They had to be out. And when that deadline came, when they got up that next day, they couldn't find none of their clothes. And they say, well, Father, where my clothes at? He said, go look on the porch. And when they looked on the porch, they saw all their clothes on there with $100 on top of the bags. Mean they got to go. They said, what the $100 supposed to do? He said, that's grace. That's grace. That $100 will take you as far as it can go. But once when it run out, you on your own. Cain is in that same position. He said, I'm going to exist as a feeble and unsteady person. I'm going to be unsteady in my ways, man. I mean, this ain't fair. I'm going to have this regret, and I'm going to be still in grief. And then he says, and it shall be, meaning to become. It's going to exist or become. The word that is not there in that verse. That is not there. That's added. It shall exist or become the whole earth. That everyone, meaning all, no matter which direction he move in, no matter which era or time that he move in. That when he's talking about time or era, that's talking about descendants. Okay? Let's talk about his descendants. Because it's like when somebody asks you, who is your people? He can't, it's like you can't tell them, well, I come from such and such as my father. The father ain't claiming you no more. He's just totally asked out. He have to start from a new beginning. That's almost like the creator's presence just left you all together and you just existing with nothing. So he says, I'm going to exist or become that all or the whole. Who is the whole? Earth. Or that all who findeth me. That word that findeth me means to meet, encounter, or to learn, or to come upon. So anybody that learn about me, or who I encounter, or who come upon me, or who meet me, shall slay me. Meaning they're going to bring me to ruins, or they're going to just slap kill me. Bring the ruins don't mean they literally kill. That means you could be like the prodigal son in the New Testament. You ain't got nothing. Because they know you ain't got no support. So they rob you. They kick you, beat you. They treat you dirty because they know you ain't got nothing to go to. So if they take whatever you lose, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters? You don't have no help. You out there by yourself. And he's saying, look, if somebody find me, no matter who it is, no matter where I go, no matter what time period, that time period could be my descendants. When people realize what I've done and I don't have no protection, they're going to bring me to ruins, or they're going to realize I don't have nobody to help me, and they're going to just literally just kill me. Because who gonna come revenge me? Because remember, you put me out all by myself. I'm not equipped for this. See, it's amazing when you do something, and now when things now come upon you, you ain't ready to deal with the blowback. The same thing what happened to Eve. She wasn't ready for the blowback, and the same thing what happened to Adam. He wasn't ready for the blowback. For eating the result of the fruit. Now here it is. Cain, he didn't think about that sin stretching out in him. He didn't think about that. He ignored it. And so now the thing stretched out in him, and here's the blowback. He couldn't control it, and whatever his brother did, meaning that his brother couldn't control the animals that was going over there eating his crops or whatever the reason is. He got angry and could not pull back. That sin stretched out in him, which created something greater that caused him to cross that threshold that he could not come back over. And that's why they say you need to be careful at the things you say. Be careful what you wish for, because it just might come to pass. He said these people are going to slay me or ruin me, bring me to ruins. He knew he couldn't handle that. So let's jump to verse 15. Any questions so far before I move forward? Make sure you press that like button, that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. And make sure you share this video to those who you think needs to hear it. So is that, and make sure, but if you don't do anything, press that like button, either up or down. It doesn't matter. Just let us know you understood, and we'll know where you at. Any questions before I move to verse 15? Or any comments? Anybody want to say anything? Like they say in that song, speak now, forever hold your peace. This the day that you open up. I know I'm messing that whole song up because I know I can't sing. Not no more. They say I used to sing like, what you call his name? Thank God he got my voice. He's dead now. What's his name? What's his name? Da 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 da. You know what I'm talking about? No, nobody want to talk to me now. Nobody want to talk to me now. Let's go to verse 15. Oh boy. And it says, and the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any find him should kill him. Okay, let's break down verse 15. Now, the word "and" means to think to oneself. So before Adam opened his mouth, Adam was thinking everything. He was thinking about everything that Cain was saying. Thinking about it. He was just thinking. Okay, makes sense. I mean, it don't make no sense for me, but it makes sense to you. Because you kill your brother, which is my son. So I hear you. So Adam is thinking about what Cain is saying. All that what Cain is saying. So the Lord means to pronounce unpronounced except with the vowel pointing, my Lord or Lord of men. We done went over that in the etymology dictionary. And that's either in all caps or lowercase. Or the first letter's cap, and then the rest of them is lowercase. You're still talking about a man. He uttered, said means to utter or cry. Now, Adam is now thinking about what? Before he opened his mouth. Number one, Cain was given the opportunity to make amends and did not. Adam never forgot that. Because Adam told Cain to make amends. He never forgot that. Okay? And number two, Cain allowed, he was told that sin would stretch out in him if he didn't make amends. And when that sin stretched out in him, what took place? Tell me what took place. Murder. What Snoop Dogg say? Murder was the case that they gave me. Murder. Murder. And the Creator said unto him. The word unto is referring back to Cain. But unto is not there. That's an added in phrase. So there was so Adam uttered and cried, therefore, mean as much as whosoever, meaning the whole of or the totality. So whosoever means the whole of who? Whoever find you. Slayeth means to smite with a deadly intent. Notice this being, do anybody see what Adam is doing? What Adam is saying to him? Because if you go back to verse 14, notice what Cain said. The whole or all who I meet, encounter, to learn, or to come upon me, shall slay me, or ruin me, or kill me. But I notice what Adam is doing because he thought about it.
So, quick question. Mm-hmm. So when Cain was saying about being cast out, so he already know that once he's on his own that he's pretty much going to be a target.
He's a target, correct.
So now it's like the fear is rising up in him, but he wasn't fearful when he was asked to make amends.
Correct. A lot of times they feel bold because when people feel entitled, they don't have that attitude in them because they don't feel like nothing is going to happen to them anyhow. But see, now he's realizing this is real. He's realizing this is real. So now the fear is now coming up in him. Because now the reality is right there before his face. The reality is right there before his face. So Adam is thinking, yeah, whosoever means the whole of or the totality. That slayeth. That now look at that word slayeth. That word slayeth means to smite with a deadly intent. There has to be an intent there. Somebody got to want to kill you. Not no accident. They got to purposely kill you the same way you purposely kill your brother, or purposely ruin you the same way you purposely ruin your brother. It's not just something that I'm just, oh, no, there has to be an intent. What the word intent means. Let's get the definition for the word intent. The word intent means what? Intention or purpose, or resolve or determined to do. Showing earnest or eager attention. So that means what? Giving all of one's attention and effort to a specific task or goal. What that mean? What does that mean? That means somebody got to literally just be targeting you. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that, yeah, unless somebody is trying to, like you said, intentionally target you, meaning that they feel like they're going to take matters in their own hands, and I guess what, right the wrong, maybe, or no.
yeah, they got to be targeting him for this specific situation that he did to his brother. See, he's condensing. See, Cain had that thing spread out. Adam bringing that thing in. Because, see, Cain was just saying, I'm going to be out there all alone. If anybody meet me, encounter me, or, they're going to encounter me, and they're going to learn about me. They're going to come upon me. They're going to meet me, and, they're going to slay me. Adam said, Somebody got to want to do it with the deadly intent. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so he was pretty much trying to play on his emotions and hoping that he would maybe change his mind or feel sorry for him.
I told you Cain is selfish. Cain is about self. But Adam understood. That's why he was thinking before he opened his mouth. And I tell all people that. What the Bible says about that. A wise man will what? What a wise man will do.
Oh, a wise man would think before speaking.
What scripture is that?
I get it.
See, we got to know. See, that's why the Bible don't teach nothing new. When you get further into it, it revert back to what happens in the beginning. That's why he says, I'm going to declare the end from the beginning.
Proverbs 29:11.
Okay, what you got?
Wise men know what to do before speaking and when to speak, but fools spill everything without preparation or thought.
Ooh, so that sounds like Cain, don't it? The fool. I'm listening. Go ahead, sis, because we got a couple of more we're gonna pull. Go ahead. What you got? How you gonna break that down? So I tell a lot of people, you got to know what to say before you say it. Know what to do before you do it. You got to think. A wise man think before he open his mouth. A wise man do not respond with emotions. A wise man respond with logic. That's why Adam, he took that broad statement and he shrunk it to the word intent. That means somebody got to purposely be targeting you. Read that verse one more time, sis. And then we're going to get Proverbs 16 and 23. Oh, that's the verse you read.
I read 29 and 11. Let me pull it back up. 29 and 11.
And then after 29 and 11, we're going to go to Proverbs 16 and 3.
It says, a fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it till afterwards.
See? A wise man keep his word. But a fool utter everything from out of his mouth, thinking that he's going to run past a wise man. Proverbs 16:23, what it says.
Proverbs 16:23.
Yeah.
It says, the heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips.
See? That's what a wise person do. Wise people always think before they speak. See? Let's go to Proverbs 19:27 and 28. So you got to be careful at the things you say. See, a lot of people, they just say stuff out their mouth. But a wise person be listening to what you ain't saying and what you really trying to say. This is why we have issues. This is the reason why we don't understand. You got Proverbs 17:27 to 28. I read it. He who has knowledge restrained and is what? Careful with his words. He who has knowledge restrains and is careful with his words. And a man of understanding and wisdom has a cool spirit, self-control, and even temper. See? This is what a wise man do. A wise man going to lean back, lay back, and be cool at the words that he use and how he use them, when he use them, where he use them, who he use them with.
I have the one that it kind of breaks it down. It says it's still Proverbs 17:27, 28. It says, the man of few words and settled mind is wise. Therefore, even a fool is thought to be wise when he is silent. It pays him to keep his mouth shut.
See? In Proverbs, the last verse, we're going to get further back in. We're going to get further back into Genesis, the 4th chapter, Proverbs 15 and 28. It says, the heart of the righteous studieth how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. Listen to that. The heart of the mind of the righteous studieth how to answer. See? That means they're listening. That's why a lot of people get upset when a man study how to answer you when to answer you, and what to answer you with. See, they always, when somebody asks you a question, is that all the time you must answer. That ain't what that's about. Sometimes it's to keep your mouth shut and say, I'll get back with you. And that's what Adam took Cain, meet and greet, encounter, come upon. He took all that and shrunk it to intent. Because he was listening to him. Dude, I'm kicking you out the family. So it don't matter. So he brought it to intent. So Cain, the eldest son of Adam and Eve, Cain told him, so Cain, Adam telling him, so whosoever totally slayeth means intent. Cain, the eldest son of Adam and Eve, vengeance shall come upon him. He's telling them vengeance is going to come upon you. To take vengeance, to entertain what? Revengeful feelings. Vengeance shall be taken for blood. Sevenfold. That means 7 times as much or variant, meaning a form or a version of something differ in some respect from other forms of the same thing or form of standard. Meaning somebody got to do something totally different than what you did, how you did it, and why you did it. Meaning it's coming to you. See, this is he's given Cain the variant forms of intent. That word sevenfold means 7 times as much. This is the attitude that the people got to have. They got to be 7 times worse than you. And that word "and" means to what? Appoint or lay violent hands on, to set. Meaning they got to be 7 times greater than you and appoint or lay hands on you, bruh. And the hands got to be violent. Because see, Cain left the door open. What if he meets somebody and he pushed somebody to the brink, and then they're protecting themselves against Cain? See, that's why Adam had to think about it, and he had to close that door shut. Whereas that you could just peek through the hole. It's not going to be something that somebody could just walk straight on through. They got to try to fit themselves in that little crack. Sevenfold. They got to lay violent hands on you, bruh. So Adam, meaning the Lord and the master of the household, the ruler, the superior, the husband, also God. So Cain answered to the master of the household, which was Adam. Cain is now listening to what Adam is telling him. So the Lord set, the word set means appoint or establish or constituted a mark. So Adam is now putting a mark on Cain. What is that mark? That word mark means an ensign, a distinguishing mark. Some people say, well, this is where Cain turned white. No, Cain ain't turned no white. It's a lie. I'm about to prove it with scripture. Cain ain't turn no white, pale, Caucasian, Caucasus Mountain, feeble, with the long hair and the claws. He ain't turned to none of that. We got all kind of narratives running across the board. That's why we are confused people. Adam established a mark. He constituted a mark on him. He appointed a mark. What was that? What did he appoint? What did he establish? What did he constitute? The word constitute is like the word constitution. He's putting rules there. He's putting a rule. That mark is a rule. He's establishing rules with Cain. So that mark is an ensign or a or a distinguishing mark. What was that mark that was distinguishing Cain? Cain was allowed to keep his father's banner. He was allowed to keep, he was allowed to walk, he was allowed to move under his father's banner. Let's go to Numbers 2 and 2. Let's prove that point. Let's go to Numbers 2 and 2.
It says, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house. Ensign of their father's house, far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch.
Go ahead. Verse 2. Let me read it. No. Read the next verse.
And on the east side toward the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. And Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, shall be captain of the children of Judah.
Ammonites. Now, I want you to pay attention to that. The scripture says, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standards with the ensign of their father's house. What the word ensign mean? Ensign. It's a flag or standard, especially a military or naval one, indicating nationality.
It is ensign.
Huh?
I said it is pronounced ensign because the ensign is the out of the ones that's in the Navy and the cap, like you got your ensign, your lieutenant, and so forth, but it's pronounced like ensign because they're the lower of the captains from when you come out of the whatever. No,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like.
Why you getting teary-eyed?
Oh, stop! No, but I was gonna say it is ensign because when you get into the in the ranks when they're wearing like the officer's uniform, the ensign is the lower. Then you have like the camp, the lieutenant, junior grade lieutenant, then you go on to admiral and so forth. So the ensign is like the bottom of like the high authority, so to speak.
Okay, so what is it for though?
Huh?
What is the ensign for?
No, I mean he has authority, but he's almost like it's like the ensign has to move up into position, so to speak. You know, like in ranks. Oh, but yeah, so he's like he may not have as many medals as the other ones because maybe they've been in longer. So he has authority, but not as much authority as like a lieutenant or admiral or captain.
Right. So if you think about that, that he don't have that much authority. Cain don't have that much authority when he was put out. So an ensign means one that what? The definition for that word is what? A flag or a standard, especially a military or naval one indicating nationality. That's a banner. So when Judah was allowed to fly the flag of Judah, it was telling you that they were from the nation of Judah or Ephraim. It was a flag. So the nation of Adam placed that mark of nationality onto Cain. It wasn't no white. He became pale.
It says the ensign is a junior rank of a commissioned officer in the armed forces of some countries, normally in the infantry or navy, and they're like right under the lieutenant.
Right, that's rank, right? It's talking about a title.
Yes.
Right, so the title in this right here is talking about nationality. Cain didn't have the rights no more in the nation, but he was allowed to be able to keep ways that he could identify with that nation. He done dropped down now. That's all he was able to do, was to identify himself as that nation. Let's go to Psalm 74 and let's start at verse 1. He was allowed to keep his nationality.
Psalm 74 in verse 1.
Yeah.
It says, O Creator, why hast thou cast us off forever? Why doeth thy anger smoke against the sheep of thy pasture?
Notice what he says, cast us off. Meaning Israel was put into exile. Creator don't want to have nothing to do with Israel. Go ahead, verse 2.
Remember thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion, wherein thou hast dwelt.
See, remember he says, remember thy congregation, which thou hast what? Purchased of old. Remember, we already read the scripture, do not remove the old landmark that thy fathers have placed or set. We are not to remove the landmark. So that through David, he's saying, look, remember what the fathers have set, the covenant.
But that's, I was going to say, but that's what's going on now. They are removing the old landmark because no one is upholding what was put before. Everybody's just kind of like brushing by it and just forgetting about it.
That's right.
So is that why things are the way they are, because we're not continuing, or the legacy is not continuing on like it's supposed to?
Remember what he says, look at the verse word in verse 2. Remember.
Yeah.
when you remember something and you know it's out of order, what's the first thing you're supposed to do?
Correct it. Get it back in order.
We're not getting it back in order. See, right here it said, remember that congregation, which thou hast purchased of old. See, David is reminding the Creator to remember Israel, but Israel ain't trying to remember the Creator.
And it said, the rod of thy inheritance. See, we don't even honor our inheritance no more.
No. See, so we have to pay attention, and that's why Adam is Adam is putting the mark, meaning he's allowing Cain to keep his father's banner. So in other words, Cain is not put all the way out. Adam is giving him mercy. So when somebody come upon you and try to kill you, they're going to see that mark. Because remember, one of Adam's curse is war. Until he can get back to the place where he failed to rebuild it once again. So Adam is in a warlike mind now. He's not in a peaceful mind no more. He's in war. So he was allowed to keep his father's banner. Let's keep going. Upon Cain, meaning the eldest son of Adam and Eve. That next word is less. See, less. That means on account of or except. Any means totally or anything all or all. Except all or anything. Finding means to meet or encounter him, meaning darkness or calamity. Should kill, meaning strike, smite, beaten, or stricken. Him. Going back to what? To find out, to learn, or to come upon. So Adam allowed Cain to keep the nation's banner under the nation's banner. On account that all that encounter or meet him, either during calamity or in darkness, and strike and beat him. See, it got to be in darkness, meaning he's still telling Cain, it has to be somebody targeting you. You have to, calamity means trouble. It's not just somebody that you encounter and you provoke and then they kill you. Nah. Because somebody going to want to do the same thing. In other words, what Adam is telling them. The same thing going to happen to you, son. Anybody want to add anything or any question before we go further? Make sure you press the like button or the subscribe button if you have to subscribe to the channel. You like what you hear. And make sure that you share this page to those who you think may want to hear this lesson. But make sure you do something for us. Press that like, that up or down. It doesn't matter. Just press something. And if you like to be a regular donor to this channel, either $1, $2, $5, $10, the Cash App is at the bottom. Because like I say, we're getting ready to. We got a project that we're going to be bringing out by November, so stay tuned for that. But anybody want to add? Excuse me. Anything? Anybody want to add anything? Any questions or what? Before I move to verse 16. Speak now, or forever hold your peace.
I'll have something later.
Oh, later. Oh, I got to wait till later. All right, let's go. Verse 16. And it says, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. Okay, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. That's right. And the word and means to depart in exile. Cain, the eldest son. So departing in exile, Cain, the eldest son of Adam and Eve, went out, he departed from the presence, meaning the face of the Lord. Of the Lord means the master of the house, the ruler, the superior husband, also God. So the ruler at that time was Adam, who we call Adam. He was the God of that area. So Cain answered to the master of the household, which was Adam. He answered to him. So he went out from the presence of the Lord, meaning he went out from the presence of Cain. He exiled from the face of Adam. So like here, Adam, and dwelt means to cause, to abide, to dwell, to be inhabited. So he was caused to abide or dwell or inhabit in the land, meaning the territory, country, or district, region, or tribal territory. Okay? Of Nod, meaning a hill. Look up Nod. I want you to look up Nod and tell me what Nod is. What you getting with Nod? Nod means the last of anything. Nod is the result as a consequence of. So Cain went among the serpent nation and became the same as that nation. Why is the serpent nation? Because it's a heel. The word Nod means a heel. What was one of the curse? And you desire to be the heel. You desire to heal, meaning you shall bruise. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise thy heel. The word bruise means to desire the heel. The heel means the hinder part, the footprint. Nod means a heel, the last of anything. Look it up. Tell me if I'm wrong. It means the result. It means as a consequence of. Tell me if I'm wrong. What do the word nod means? N-O-D. I'm listening. What do the word nod means? Cain went among the serpent nation. Now, this is very important because Adam put him out. He put him out of the garden. He put him out.
It took a minute, but I think I found it. It says nod in the Hebrew root of the verb to wander. Therefore, to dwell in the land of Nod can mean to live a wandering life.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's pull up the
Let's pull up
Phoenician
the
Hebrew
Phoenician Hebrew
5113.
51:13.
Phoenician Hebrew 5113. I need that cord for my tablet. So Cain just gonna wander? He gonna have no place to go? He gonna just wander? Oh. So he gonna just wander? The word nod. He dwelt in the land of Nod. He caused to abide, to dwell, or inhabit the territory, the region, the country, meaning a heel, the last of anything, or the result as a consequence of. That's what nod means. Did you find it?
Um, okay, Wanad, it means wanderer, exile, or fugitive. Um,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Exile, wanderer,
Exile
or
or
fugitive,
future,
right?
right?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to let's go to um give me 1 second. See, I'm on this old broken phone because I got to plug this thing up. Let's go to give me 1 second. Go to hold on. Let me make sure this is it. Okay. Go to the lexicon. Um
I'm um I'm in the Hebrew dictionary, the lexicon concordance. Um,
Uh-huh.
it says Nod, wandering land to which Cain fled or wandered after the murder of Abel. Um, then it just says it has Hebrew 5112 Vargas Vagaries Vagaries
Mm-hmm.
Vagransy Nod in the land of Canaan.
Right in the land of Canaan. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna find it because I didn't write it down. I don't know why I didn't do that. But I'm gonna find. I'm gonna come right back to it before we end today. Um, Nod means the last. It means a heel, meaning heel. A a heel. The last of anything. The result as the consequence of. So Cain went among the serpent nation and became the same as that nation. Now, hold on. Let me see something here real quick before I move forward. Okay, go to hold on. Let me make sure I think I found it. Okay, go to let me see something here. All right. Let me make sure it's all right. Let me keep going forward. I'm gonna move forward. I got to find out. I don't know why I did that. I wrote down the information and didn't put down where I got it from. Let's keep moving forward. I'm gonna be looking for it as I be going through it. But it means the heal, the last thing, the last of anything, result, and the consequence of. All right. Now, um, on the east, on the east is very important. All right. Um, when they talk about on the east,
It says forward, front, east, iniquity, in front of, over, against.
yeah, that's what. So when you look at the east, it's talking about the front or against. Okay, it's talking about the front or against that which is before of old meaning. So when you're talking about when you're talking about the east, the east is talking about something that is in front of it. So when it says, and he dwelt in the land of Nod on the east. Hold on, let me plug this thing up real quick. Give me a second. Hate doing this. Just give me 1 second. Let me plug this thing up. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. So we're talking about something that is on the east. That's on the east. All right. It's bumping up against the original land that Cain was that Adam and Eve was in. It's bumping up against the original land where the garden was. So I know exactly where I got it from. Hold on. I know where to find it at now. So when when Cain left the garden, he went east. Okay. That means the land of Nod is bumping up against the garden. Okay. That means the land is bumping up against the garden. All right. So if you can imagine that the land is bumping up against the garden. I think I found it. All right. I don't know why it's not giving it to me now. Give me 1 second. So when the land is bumping up against the garden, that means Cain didn't go far. Cain didn't go far. He did not go far. He did not go far. So when Cain did not go far, that means what? Was he still in the vicinity where his family were? Or is Cain just wandering all across the place? Hello? Anybody home?
Yes.
Cain did not go that far because the land, the garden, this ain't gonna work. The garden is right next to the land in which he came from. All right. And as he was, go ahead.
Oh, the Tom would say for Eden, it says the pleasure, the region of Adam's home.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I was saying about the east. What's it? The east of Eden.
Yeah, we still on
Yeah,
the
we're still on
east.
the east.
Okay.
Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Because you talk about something that was before. Something that was before. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9.
It says, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done, is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun."
So what that mean?
Meaning that there's nothing that's new. I mean, what's always been there has always been there. It's not going to be anything different.
So when we say that there's something new on the earth, then that shows you right there lie. Before is coming back again. There's nothing new on the earth. Go stay in Ecclesiastes and go to chapter 3, verse through 17. If I can't find it today, I'm going to definitely find it. I have it next week to show you exactly what nod means, because we're gonna still be on nod.
Okay, you said Ecclesiastes.
Same book,
Ecclesiastes.
same book. Just
Same
go to
book.
chapter
Go to
3,
chapter
13 through
13 through
17.
17.
It was breaking up. 13 through 17.
Yes.
Yes.
13 through 17. "And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of the Creator. I know that whatsoever the Creator doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken away from it. And the Creator doeth it, that men should fear before him. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And the Creator requireth that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in my heart, the Creator shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work."
So what that mean? So what does that
What does
mean?
that mean?
It's just it means that,
Notice he said what
Notice
the
that
creator
what
did, no
no
one
one
can add
can
to it.
add to it.
What
so
does that
What
mean?
does
whatever,
that mean?
meaning that everything's already established, everything's already laid out. So it's like you don't need to add or take away because he's already put what it is and what it should be.
Okay, so if no one can add to the creator agenda nor get rid of the creator's agenda, then how do we say there's something new on this earth then? Cain went to something, he went to a nation that was bumping up against the garden. That's what the word east means. It means in front of or aforetime, something that was there before. In that which is before, of old. So Cain went somewhere that was before the garden. Cain moved to the area that was before Genesis 1:26. He moved to that area that was before Genesis 1:26. Let's check a video out real quick. Why do they have this thing twice? Why do they have this thing twice? Let's just go here real quick. All right, fair use, fair use. This is for constructive criticism only, for teaching purposes. So fair use. Let's go. We're not going to watch the whole video.
This ancient civilization said to have existed in the Pacific Ocean is believed to have been highly advanced in terms of technology, spirituality, and knowledge. While the existence of Mu is still a matter of debate, some say there is evidence that suggests that this advanced society may have once thrived in the Pacific and had a profound impact on the surrounding civilizations. The origin of the legend of Mu dates back to the 19th century when Augustus Le Plongeon, a French explorer, made claims that he had discovered the ancient civilization of Mu in Central America. He believed that the civilization was once the center of a global empire that had a profound impact on the world. The idea of Mu quickly gained popularity and was soon adopted by various esoteric and claims that covered.
Now I want y'all to pay attention. Where's Mu at? Mu is sitting right there in the where? Between North America, and they say that's out there in the Pacific Ocean. It sits on the backside of North America, South America, right there by Australia. That's where they say it's at. Mu. See? But Mu's supposed to be Hawaii. That's Lemuria. Lemuria stretched all the way around from the Pacific all the way to the Atlantic. This is what they don't want to tell you. Let's go.
For the ancient civilization of Mu in Central America. He believed that the civilization was once the center of a global empire that had a profound impact on the world. The idea of Mu quickly gained popularity and was soon adopted by various esoteric and spiritual movements. Le Plongeon.
So notice what he says. When the word or the continent of Mu became popular, it began to have it gained popularity to spiritual and religious movements. Let's hear that again.
The idea of Mu quickly gained popularity and was soon adopted by various esoteric and spiritual movements.
So that means when people started hearing this, they started galvanizing this thing and saying, oh, this is something that we can now adopt. We can adopt this thing and make it a spiritual or esoteric movement that we can now plunge ourselves behind. Let's go.
Le Plongeon believed that the god Ra was central to the civilization of Mu and that the name Mu was derived from the Egyptian god Ra.
See, so they say, oh, so the name Ra, Amen Ra, that's an Egyptian god. And they say, oh, well, the Egyptian god comes from, Amen Ra comes from Lemuria. That was his world. Let's go.
He claimed that the civilization was a remnant of the ancient Atlantean culture and that the ruins he had discovered were evidence of this. Le Plongeon also suggested that the ancient Greeks had knowledge of Mu and that the story of Atlantis was inspired by the legend of Mu. There are several theories about the creation of Mu. Some believe that Mu was created as a result of a massive geological event such as a volcanic eruption, earthquake, or meteor impact. This event caused the landmass to rise from the depths of the ocean and created a new continent.
So they're saying that this landmass just popped out of nowhere because of some kind of some kind of thing that the earth was going through. And boom, here we go. This is, now you have the land of Lemuria that came from volcanoes and etc. Let's go.
The continental drift theory suggests that Mu was once part of a larger landmass that broke apart due to tectonic plate movements.
So they're saying that's where they get the Pangea thing coming from. They're saying that this is what happened with Mu or Lemuria or Mu. It broke away and it drifted away, and all of a sudden this what happened. We're gonna get in something in a minute. Let's go.
The landmass that became Mu drifted to its current location over time.
If you look at this map, look at my pointer. See, this is where Mu at right here. This is the Atlantic Ocean. This is where Mu at right here. But they'll tell you Mu was here, back behind Africa, all going back here. This is Mu right here in the Atlantic Ocean, and it swings all the way around. And then it goes, in some parts of it goes through the Pacific. But this is Mu right here in the Atlantic. Notice it's bumping up against North America, Canada. All right, let's go.
Others believe that Mu was created by intelligent beings, either through human intervention or extraterrestrial intervention.
See, this is where they get the extraterrestrial coming from. Now, we're going to get into the extraterrestrial. This is where we're gaining up at. We're getting ready to get into what happened during Cain's time, okay? Because he's leaving out, and I'm bringing this in for a reason. Let's go.
Proponents of this theory point to the advanced technology and knowledge of the inhabitants of Mu as evidence of this.
Because where did Cain come from? I mean, that's Cain come from, excuse me, Salakia. Where did the land of Nod come from? Because you didn't hear nothing about the land of Nod. When he got put out of the garden, he left. Why did not Adam and Eve go to the land of Nod? Why only Cain went to the land of Nod? Because according to the stories that narrative is, Adam and Eve got put out of the garden too. So why did they not travel to the land of Nod? Because Adam and Eve wasn't put out of the garden, they was losing power. They lost power in the garden. They was catching hell staying in the garden. Let's go.
Another belief is that the legend of Mu is a myth created by ancient cultures to explain the mysteries of the world.
So they're saying that, oh, it's fake. They don't know. But when they go up under the ocean, they see great civilizations under that. Well, how did the great civilizations get up under the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean? How? Let's go.
Proponents of this theory suggest that the story of Mu was created to explain the existence of ancient ruins and to provide a context for the development of early civilizations.
So they're trying to come up with an excuse of the ruins that they have seen across the board that have taken place in that the ruins that they have seen, but they don't know how to explain it. So they call it a mythology, even though the mythology is real, but they call it a myth. Let's keep going.
Lastly, some believe that Mu was created by spiritual beings or forces and that the continent was a realm of higher consciousness.
So they're saying that, oh, this rim was a higher consciousness. This is where we about to get in the sweet spot. They say it's this rim was a higher consciousness. It was. And it really was. Give me a second. This rim was a higher, this rim that we in were a higher consciousness, but it wasn't higher than the garden that Adam was in. When Adam fell, he fell into a rim that had fallen. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going.
Proponents of this theory suggest that Mu was a place where spiritual beings could interact with humans and that the inhabitants of Mu were able to tap into this spiritual realm.
Well, it's not that you can tap into the spiritual realm. It was the point that there were things that Mu or Lemuria was an actual place of a portal. And that portal was not something big. It was just a portal that people can transpire. They could come through different points and go back through different points. And there was actual people living on that continent. See, Adam was put here, or not put here. He was raised up to be able to stabilize the energy that was placed upon this earth. Adam, the nation of Adam, was put here to stabilize the energy for the Creator on this earth. But the nation of Adam got caught up into this energy that was already here, that caused the other nations to fall. Let's keep going.
The legend of Mu has often been compared to the stories of Atlantis and Lemuria. Some believe that Mu was a predecessor to both of these ancient civilizations and that it served as a model for the development of both.
So that let you know, they say, oh, Atlantis and Lemuria. See, you got to dodge the hijack. This is the same thing. Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, they're the same thing. They're trying to see, what they're trying to do now is split it up into different points of parts in different dates and times. It's the same continent. Let's keep going.
It is also believed that Mu was connected to both Atlantis and Lemuria through trade and cultural exchange.
So how could it be a predecessor if predecessor means that something was there before it? But now they say it's through trade and export that Lemuria, Mu was dealing with other nations. See how they said you got to dodge the hijack. You got to listen. All three of these places are the same landmass that was bumped up against the United States or the land of America. Let's keep going.
The location of Mu is a matter of much debate and speculation.
Because they don't want you to know that it was they don't want you to know that it was what you call it? It was right there in the Atlantic coming around into the Pacific. They don't want you to know that. Let's go.
Some believe that Mu waited in the Pacific Ocean and that it was eventually submerged beneath the waves.
Notice they're telling you that there was a cataclysm that happened. So if it was a whole continent, you telling me the water covered the whole continent? Are we talking about the flood? See, we're getting there. This is where Cain ran to. Let's keep going.
Others believe that the continent was located in Central America and that the ruins of the civilization can still be found there.
See, they say specific Central America. Well, they're both right. Because the continent ran across the Pacific all the way to the Atlantic. Let's go.
Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the belief in the existence of Mu continues to captivate the imagination of many. Hawaii is considered by many to be a remnant of the lost continent of Mu due to the cultural, spiritual.
See, Hawaii, they say Hawaii is part of that continent. Did you not think about Hawaii just mountains? It's just one big old mountain with volcanoes. Hawaii ain't nothing but a rock. Hawaii is not a continent. And on that rock, they build civilization. Let's go.
And linguistic similarities between the ancient Hawaiians and the Mu people. The Hawaiian religion features gods and goddesses that are similar to those found in the legends and myths of other Pacific civilizations.
So they're talking about the same god and goddesses that these people dealt with. This is what they're saying. These people dealt with god and goddesses. Is these the ones that Adam ran into? Let's go.
For example, the Hawaiian god Cain is similar to the Mu god Ra, and the Hawaiian goddess Pele is similar to the Mu goddess Rongo.
Let's go back.
The ancient Hawaiians and the Mu people.
Let's listen.
The Hawaiian religion features gods and goddesses that are similar to those found in the legends and myths of other Pacific civilizations. For example, the Hawaiian god Cain is similar to the Mu god Ra.
So you're talking about the god Cain, C-A-N-E, is similar to the god of
and the
Ra. So you have a god of Cain, and then now you have a god of Ra. And now you have the god of who? The Hawaiian goddess Pele is similar to who?
Rongo.
The god of Rongo. Cain Ku Langu. Lanu. And where did Cain go? He went to these lands. He can no longer go around his people. Only thing he did was carry the banner of the name. That's it. Let's go.
The Hawaiian language and alphabet contain linguistic similarities to those of other Pacific civilizations, which could indicate a shared origin.
So in other words, he said the alphabets and pretty much you can say pretty much the language had a shared origin. So I want y'all to remember this. These nations that was on that continent shared the same alphabets. That means they probably more likely share the same language. Let's go.
For example, the Hawaiian word for island is moku, which is similar to the Mu word mu.
See, the Hawaiian word for island is moku. Mu. Peru. See? Mu, moku, Peru. Let's go.
Some researchers also believe that the ancient Hawaiian writing system, which was used for record-keeping and religious purposes, is based on the writing system used by the Mu people.
So now you recognizing that Hawaii has the same similarities as the Mu people. Let's go.
Polynesian cultures, including those of the Society Islands, Marquesas Islands, and the Tuamotu Archipelago, are often considered to be connected to the lost continent of Mu.
So why is they saying that? Why is they saying that? Do they have evidence of saying that, or have they looked up under the water? I wonder. Let's go.
The Polynesian creation myth describes a landmass in the Pacific Ocean that is similar to the description of Mu, and the Polynesian language and alphabet contain linguistic similarities to those of other Pacific civilizations, which could indicate a shared origin. The Polynesian religion also shares similarities with the legends and myths of other Pacific civilizations. For example, the Polynesian god Tain is similar to the Mu god Ra, and the Polynesian goddess Hina is similar to the Mu goddess Rongo. Additionally, the Polynesian navigation and ocean-faring skills are considered to be among the most advanced in the world and may have been influenced by the advanced maritime technology of the Mu people. Tahiti, one of the largest islands in the Society Islands, is considered by many to be a remnant of the lost continent of Mu. The ancient Tahitian religion features gods and goddesses that are similar to those found in the legends and myths of other Pacific civilizations, and the Tahitian language and alphabet contain linguistic similarities to those of other Pacific civilizations, which could indicate a shared origin. The ancient Tahitians are thought to have possessed remarkable maritime abilities and technological advancements, with some believing that these skills were influenced by the advanced maritime knowledge and technology of the Mu people. The Tahitians were not only skilled navigators, but also accomplished ocean-farers, and their travels throughout the Pacific may have played a role in the dispersal of culture and technology among the Pacific civilizations. The civilizations of Mu were believed to be highly technologically advanced societies. The inhabitants of Mu were said to have built magnificent structures, created intricate systems of agriculture and irrigation, and possessed advanced knowledge in areas such as medicine, astronomy, and mathematics. They were also believed to have developed a sophisticated system of government, with a central authority and a hierarchical social structure.
Now, I want y'all to remember that next week we're going to see the same video. These people understood medicine. Let's go back over it again.
The inhabitants of Mu were said to have built magnificent structures.
They built magnificent structures.
Intricate systems of agriculture and irrigation.
They had agriculture and irrigation.
And possessed advanced knowledge in areas such as medicine.
They had advanced knowledge in medicine,
astronomy,
mathematics. What else?
They were also believed to have developed a sophisticated system of government.
They had a sophisticated system of government. What else?
Central authority and a hierarchical social structure.
They had a hierarchy social structure. You dealing with, this is what kind of society Cain went to. Let's keep going.
They were also said to have developed advanced forms of transportation and communication.
They developed transportation and communication,
which allowed them to move goods and information throughout the civilization with ease.
Which allowed them to move goods and information throughout the civilization with ease.
The inhabitants of Mu were said to possess advanced spiritual abilities, including
they have advanced spiritual abilities. Let's go.
Telepathy, precognition.
They moved according to what? Telepathy, precognition,
and the ability to communicate with the spirit realm.
And ability to communicate with the spirit realm. I'm bringing all this out because we're going to go back through this next week in next Shabbat in Creator's will. Let's go.
These abilities were believed to have been developed through spiritual practices and the study of ancient knowledge and teachings.
So these things they learned through ancient knowledge and teachings. That means somebody taught them this. They just was not advanced for the hell of it. Something taught them. Let's go.
The Nicol, in particular, was said to have been highly skilled in the areas and to have used their abilities to help guide the society.
Now we're gonna stop it right here because we're gonna rewind next week. We talking about what that word name is, what that priest name is.
And teachings. The Nicol.
He says the nickel. Like you got in your pockets, in your bank account, your piggy bank, it's called a nickel. The nickel is a god name, a priest. Let's finish up the 16th chapter. 16th verse. And we're going to close it out. We're going to close it out. What's this thing doing? We're going to close it out. Because Cain went to the land of Nod. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying. You talking about Genesis 4:16?
Yes.
Yes.
We're
You
gonna
mean to
finish that
read
out.
it again or no?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, and Cain went out from the presence of the Creator and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. Or Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden.
Okay. So
Okay.
he dwelt in the land of Nod. Okay. So when Cain went out from the land of Nod and dwelt in Eden, Eden is the foreclosure of the first habitat, the enclosure, the first habitat of man after the creation. So this is where the Creator gave, and when the earth was being reformed in Genesis 1, He gave a particular nation a particular piece of land. Okay, Eden is the enclosure, the first habitation of man after the creation, meaning the Creator is now allowing man to have a kingdom separate from the fall of the other nations. This is what's going on. Cain was put out. Now, Cain is now wandering outside of the family, the comfort of the family. And Cain went among those that were highly skillful. They moved rigorously in the spirit realm. They understood how powerful the things were. They understood that. The question is, did Cain understand what he was about to get into? Yes. That's why he said, if he come encounter with anybody, meet somebody, whatever, they're going to bring him to ruins or kill him. The thing is, Cain knew what was out there. But he don't have a choice now. Cain don't have a choice. He have to go amongst them. Even when Adam and Eve fell, they still were separate. They still were separate. But the only time when they went up amongst them is that when they had to eat. And the land wasn't producing for them no more. Not like that. And the only way that they had to get it, they had to fight, according to the curse. They wasn't all the way put out of the garden, but Cain is all the way, not just being put from out of the garden, but he's being removed from family. And the only thing he got left is he could use the family name, but the family is not going to use his name. He's exiled. He's cast out. He's divorced. Anybody got any last thing to say before we close out? So Cain is now getting ready to go up under and go around that nation or those nations that were different from him. Now we're getting ready to move a little forward. And on next week, I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have it where it's that to show you that the land of Nod mean a hill. I promise that one. Any last words before we close out? I thank you for each one of you joining. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say shalom and happy Shabbat to everybody, and I enjoyed the class and the information. All praises.
Well, thank you for joining us. If this is your Shabbat, shalom, happy Shabbat to each one of you in the Creator's will. We'll see you on next Shabbat. And if this is not your Shabbat and you decided to just come join us, make sure you, before you leave out, press that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, press the subscribe button. And if you want someone to hear the lesson, press the share button. And if you like to be a regular donor to the channel, $1, $2, $3, $4, whatever, it doesn't matter, 50 cents, I don't care, penny. But if you don't, hey, it's all good. But the Cash App is at the bottom. We got a project coming up that we're going to be releasing in the Creator's will this November. It's going to be pretty good. And also, Pentecost is coming up in May. So we're going to have that feast as well. Okay? So we thank the Creator for you joining us. May your Shabbat continue to be peaceful, restful, and relaxful. Remember, Pentecost is the first fruit. That's agriculture. When we meet, we want to see what you have been growing, what you have been doing. Because if anything pop off, would you be able to survive, or would you be trying to look for a Walmart? All right. So until then, until next Shabbat, same channel, same station, same subject. Thank you for joining us. Shalom, shalom. See you on next Shabbat. Peace.